Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples for his younger brothers, and peace and blessings, salutations to the whole elect out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. All right. And I want to go into a lesson, going into, this grace is time sensitive. All right. Grace is time sensitive. Okay. Because the Lord, through the sacrifice of Yahweh Shai, established the grace period, okay, for the hopeful elect. Okay. And within that grace period, all right, there was a remnant, that's allotted to return to righteousness through faith in Yahweh Shai, through believing, okay, in Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, and for 2/3, they will constantly refuse, okay, the Lord's warning, all right, via the prophets. They will constantly refuse, the Lord's grace, through this word going out, okay? And now we're in a time, as we can see, all right, grace is becoming very time sensitive, okay? And the Lord has warned, ample time, to all our people, okay? And now we're getting ready to see, all right, the Lord open up in judgment. The Lord always gives, great warning, before judgment. Even when you, let's go here, since I said it, let's get this in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3. Okay, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, and verse 17. Okay, and it reads, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. And see, that's a blessing, that the Lord, okay, put spirit on particular men to be watchmen, and it's such a blessing, man, that even we appreciate each other, man, because every brother can't cover everything, and sometimes life get hectic to where you can't watch as much as you want, and you're able to tune into a brother, and he has it all laid out. He can catch you up with 1 or 2 videos and you be on point. I know I used to appreciate that a lot, when things were a little more hectic on my end, being able to watch, brothers' videos and, a few videos, 2, 3 videos, and brothers have you on point, So that's a convenience in the spirit that the Lord has set up, his men to be watchmen. Okay? So the Lord set up watchmen. All right, and what's the main thing that we're on the watch for, man? Is prophecy, man. What's to come? Okay, and the Lord is getting ready to judge. The Lord's getting ready to open up. That's why when you read it, Ezekiel 3 and 17, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word of my mouth and give them warning from me. Give them warning from me. Okay, so we're giving our people a warning directly from Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. The prophets are the messengers of what's to come. Okay, and if you keep ignoring the message, okay, you don't take this message with urgency, okay, it's going to come a time where the message, all right, is going to be silent. Okay, the prophets are going to be silent and judgment going to speak. Okay, so that's why you go here to, I want to get this, it says time sensitive. Okay, it said time sensitive means that something requires immediate attention or is only relevant for a limited period because it is sensitive to the passage of time. So what we're doing, well, this message, this should require your immediate attention. When this word goes out, it should be to the immediate, attention of our people. This is urgent, and every day that goes past, this word gets more and more urgent. Okay, and it requires immediate attention, man. You see? So it says for a limited period because it is sensitive to the passage of time it can refer to a strict deadline for a project because it's already appointed when the Lord is going to end this thing. Okay, let's get a precept and then we'll go back to it. All right, which we always get it. It's also in the book of Ezekiel too, I believe the 7th chapter. Okay, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7. Okay, in verse 5, it said, "Thus said the Lord, power and evil." Matter of fact, let me read down into it. All right, this is Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 1. It said, "Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Also, thou son of man, thus said the Lord, power unto the land of Israel, and end is come upon the four corners of the land." Which this represents, Israel in this time, because the Lord was pronouncing judgment on our people when they was in the land, and he would allow, because this was when he was getting ready to allow the Babylonians, to come and exile, all right, and take Jake captive, man. Take Jake exile, man. So Ezekiel is giving this warning, okay? And now we're in the state of Ezekiel, okay, warning our people again that the Lord is finna get ready to make moves, man. The Lord is not playing. Like, you see, like, what's happening is the anger of the Lord stirred up. You can get caught up in the weeds and, so-called white man and this and, and you get caught up in, okay, the practicality of what's going on. But then when you get into the spiritual side, the Lord is angry. The Lord is pissed. Okay, and while this word is still going out, the Lord is still showing mercy. There's a time to repent and come back. Okay, so reading on, and it said, "Now is the end come, all right, upon thee, and I will send my anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense thee all thine abominations." See, you Jakes finna go into this time, and the Lord is finna charge you guilty for everything you've done. See, there's a punishment for your actions. And that's one thing about this society. Esau runs such a lax system, that people in their mind, they detach their actions from consequences. Okay? They think if they can escape according to Esau law that they're good, they in the clear. No, the Lord's going to require everything that's been happening, man. You see? And this is why, Yahushua, is so vital for us, man, because we have things that we're guilty of that's worthy, okay, of death, that's worthy of being tormented and punished, man. Okay, but through Yahushua coming back to repentance, through faith in Yahushua, man, we have a great chance to be pardoned. Okay, to where we don't have to deal with the Lord's wrath. We deal with his chastening. Because the Most High, he deal with us as men. So we get chastened in this thing. Okay, we don't want no parts of his wrath, and we're finna see the difference between the Lord chastening those whom he love, all right, and the wrath he got for those that despise him, man, and that he despises, man. Okay, we finna see the difference, all right, and it says, "According to thy ways." And will recompense thee all thine abomination, and it says, "And my eyes shall not spare, neither will I have pity." And see, the Lord not finna play. Now, one thing about our people, they do all this wickedness, but then when judgment, okay, as we see judgment activated, everybody wanna holler, "Oh, the kids." Okay, the kids. Every time judgment get activated on niggas wanna holler about the kids. But niggas don't care about the kids. Never. Okay, well, every time judgment is getting activated. But the kids, though, y'all niggas don't care about no kids, man. And the Lord ain't finna care about old, young, man, woman. Okay? The Lord don't even factor that in. Okay? It's about your actions, your conduct, man. What have you been doing? Okay? It's about these spirits that he's finna judge, man. Okay? And it said, "But I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abomination shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. Thus said the Lord, power and evil, and only evil, behold, is come, and end is come. The end is come, and watch it for thee. Behold, it is come. Okay, so we're at the end of this project. Well, the prophets, have discreet ministry and these live screens and these channels and these pages and the word just going out. The Lord just pouring out His Spirit unto you. And we at the end of that project, and the Lord finna begin the project of major judgment, man. Okay, so going back to the definition of time sensitive, it says time sensitive means that something requires immediate attention or is only relevant for a limited time because it is sensitive, all right, to the passage of time. It says it can refer to a strict deadline for a project, a product that must be delivered by a certain time. In this word, it's a product, and that's why the Lord said His word not gonna go out void. It's gonna accomplish what it's meant to accomplish. Okay. Salaki. You see, it says a product must be delivered by a certain time or a situation that needs a quick response. Okay, so that's why, and we can end it here. Let's go here. Make this super long, just quick hit. To the point. This is on the book of Sirach, chapter 5 and verse 7. Okay, Sirach 5 and 7. It says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance, man. So putting off, the Lord, from day to day will only put you in a terrible situation. Because when grace is up, and then it's going to be judgment. All right. And this false sense of security that you get from this society, because Esau has, pampered, okay, our people with convenience in this world, a delusion of false security, rock them to sleep, through certain comforts, man. Even though Jay get the short end of the stick, okay, it's still, all right, way more convenient than most of the world, So Jake, all right, has been rocked to sleep by convenience and thinking that they have this, type of security in this setup. Well, the Lord's finna break down all that illusion of security, okay, that people have in this system, man. So that's the point. Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters edify once again. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations, hopefully, shalom.